Recording in progress.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our SWAC football media session for the head coaches on Monday, August 24th. As today it's 10:02 a.m. Our schedule as follows. Starting at 10:05, we will have Coach Sam Shade from Alabama A&M. At 10:15, we will have Eddie Robinson from Alabama State. At 10:25, we will have Cedric Thomas from Alcorn State. At 10:35, we will have Raymond Woody from Bethune. At 10:45, we will have Quinn Gray from Florida A&M. At 10:55, we'll have Mickey Joseph from Grambling State, and at 11:05, Alonzo Hampton from Arkansas's Pine Bluff. At 11:15, Terrell Buckley from Mississippi Valley will be joining us. At 11:25, Tremaine Jackson from Prairie View will join us. And at 11:35, Marshall Falk from Southern will join us. At 11:45, Chris Dishman from Texas Southern will join us. And at 11:55, TC Taylor from Jackson State will be joining us. And we are a bit ahead of schedule. It's 10:03 right now. We will begin at 10:05. We have now hit the 10:05 mark. Just a quick reminder, please make sure all lines are actively muted as you are asking a question, and we ask that you wait until you are acknowledged for your initial question, and you can unmute yourself. You have one initial question, but if time allows, we will have more time to circle back. And now we have Coach Sam Shade on the call, who will be starting off with us. Coach Sam, how you doing this morning?
Doing great. Good morning to you.
Morning. Thank you for taking time out your morning to join us. And I know you have a big week. It's finally the week you've been waiting on, as you guys will head to Atlanta. If you'd like to start with your opening statement for the SWAC and MEAC Challenge.
Yes, I want to say first off, we had a really good off season. Felt like we grew as a team physically and mentally, and that we've really come together as a football team this off season, and we're excited and looking forward to the season.
All right, and now we'll start with Wayne Cartwright.
Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Wayne, good morning, man. Good to hear you.
Always good to see you, Coach. So here's my question for you today. Can you talk about what you've seen from the defense through camp? Like the newcomers specifically, like Antonio Coleman, and then the returners like Keon Hanley, Wyatt Wright, and others as you guys get ready for Saturday night and into the future.
Well, I've seen our not only our defense, but I've seen our team really come together, gel, and mesh. I feel like that's important, especially for a defensive group to come together and gel. So that's been good. It's been kind of back and forth in camp between the offense and defense. The defense has, had some big days, and then the offense has had some big days, which, that's about how you want it. You don't want it to be one-sided where one group is dominating the other side. So, just seeing that makes me feel good as a coach to just see the competition side of it, the competitiveness of our team.
Well, Coach, I appreciate it as always. I'll see you down there in Atlanta. Best of luck as you get ready for this big game.
All right. Thank you so much, Wayne. See you in Atlanta.
Next question is Charles Hallman.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. How's it going?
All right. Charles Harmon, Minnesota Spokesman Recorder. I want to piggyback on what you said in your opening statement about you feel that your team has gotten better physically and mentally. What little thing that you felt have made that trip for you? And then do you feel that your program is really set in where you wanted to go now that you are the head coach there?
Well, yes, I do feel like we've laid a foundation here at A&M, and actually I feel like it started late last season. We had some close ball games that, didn't go our way, but felt like our guys, continued to push on and kept fighting. And I feel like we carried that into the off season. Particularly, I feel like our strength and conditioning program did a really good job, headed up by John Williams, our head strength coach. Just feel like our guys, they look different, got bigger and stronger, faster. Also, I feel like there was some mental toughness that was instilled in our off-season program that's going to carry into the season.
And for you as a coach, how you feel this going into this year?
Well, we're optimistic. I think everybody is because, as coaches, we're always trying to improve it and make it better. And, one thing, that I tell the team is that change is inevitable. That means you're not going to stay the same. You're either going to progress or you're either going to regress. And we feel like we progress, but at the same time, the rest of the SWAC's been working too, and our other opponents that we'll face are non-conference. So, I think we're going to find out a lot about ourselves in the first ball game.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
All right. Thank you.
Next question is Perry White.
Hey, good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Perry. How's it going?
Doing good, man. Getting ready to watch you guys this weekend. Quick question about your offense. When you look at Quad Brown, who's returning from an injury last year, but your quarterback room is deep with a lot of talent. Can you talk about that battle of the guy who's going to be looking at the replacing or playing that second string quarterback for you guys?
Well, actually, Perry, yes, Quad will be the number one guy going out there first. And we've got a trio of guys behind him. And Perry, actually, that's kind of going down to the wire. I mean, it's been one of the most competitive position battles I've seen in a long time. And it's kind of going down to the wire as to who that number two guy will be. And that's just because all of those guys have had really good camps. So we really won't make that decision until later on, probably getting on the bus going to Atlanta.
Thank you, Coach.
All right. Thank you.
Our next question is from Ty Miller.
Hey, Coach Shay, good morning to you. How are you?
Oh, good morning. How's it going?
Pretty good. New coach, new scheme for the Howard Bison. So, from what you've learned so far, what are your impressions of what you're facing Saturday?
Well, I think we're facing a football team that's going to be really good. Last year they had a decent record last year, and Coach White came in. He kept the entire defensive staff, kept the special teams staff, and really, what'll be new for them will be their offense. And you look at that coaching staff, they've got a lot of guys with a lot of experience on different levels. Obviously, Coach White, he's coached on every level. His offensive coordinator, same thing. You look over on the
Recording stopped.
You look over on the defensive side, they've got a number of guys that have NFL playing experience, and so I feel like we got our work cut out for them. For us going into this ball game.
And coach, how difficult are first games when you're trying to get your team off the ground? How long does it take for the players themselves to get acclimated to live game action after being in fall practice?
Well, the one thing we try to do, obviously we have a couple scrimmages that we get to do, and those are live, what I call real football action. So that helps you. And also, we try to work on a lot of situations that our team might face in a ball game. So we try to put them in as many situations that are going to come up in a game, and we feel like that's going to help us when that situation comes up. So, not really just concerned with, how we're going to play, but the thing that I worry about in these first ball games, I worry about penalties. Some of that is because of nervousness and things like that in some of your guys. But I think after they get out there and kind of get the pass popping a little bit, I think they'll settle down and play a normal football game.
All right, coach. Good luck this weekend.
All right, thank you.
And coach, a question I have for you is, what is the main approach that you would like to take as your program goes on a live national broadcast for a Saturday night kickoff?
Well, yes, it is like you said, live on ABC, nationally televised primetime game. And so there's some things that, we want to do. Obviously, we want to represent ourselves well. We also want to represent Alabama A&M University well. And also we want to represent the SWAC as best we can. So we understand that mission, and our core values are really the things that we want to display. We want to display discipline, accountability, character, great habits, great attitude, sacrifice, and excellence. Those are the things that are our core values for this football team, and we want to always display those things when we go out and play a ball game, whether it's nationally televised or not. But we do understand the stage that we're on, and we do understand the many people that we are representing.
Thank you, coach. And I see Perry White has raised a hand. Yeah, time for another question.
Yeah, one last question, Coach. Talk about your defense coming out of fall camp, guys to look out for from your D-line all the way to your DBs.
Okay, so like I said, I feel like our defense has really grown and progressed up to this point compared to this point last year. So definitely excited about that. We do have some guys that were here last year, for instance, in the secondary. Jeremiah Hudson Davis, we get him back. He went through some times last year. He played about half of the games last year. He was kind of in and out with some injuries and things like that. So excited about him. Keon Hanley, another defender in the secondary that we're excited about having back for his final season. And then you get to the linebacker group. Got some guys that played last year. John Robinson, one of them. Obviously, Wyatt Wright. Wyatt is a guy that played a lot of football for us last year. And then one of the newcomers, D'Angelo Barber. We're excited about him. And then you go up front, and we've got some guys coming back. Keith Green, defensive tackle. He's had pretty good camp for us. Kylon Roberts, defensive end that was here last year. He's also had a really good camp. So, got some guys that we feel like are really gonna step up for us this year defensively.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Sam Shea, for taking some time out of your morning to connect with everyone, and good luck to you this Saturday.
All right. I just want to say, good health and safe travels to all the coaches and their teams this year in the SWAC. Thank you.
Thank you. Next on our scheduled for appearance, I will have Coach Robinson, who will be appearing from Alabama State. So we'll get ready to get him on Zoom.
Yo, what's happening? So I called Vernon, man. I called Vernon today, and I got the gist of the matter was to have some of the craps.
All right. Good morning, everyone. We now have Coach Eddie Robinson from Alabama State joining us as he prepares for big week, not in the city of Montgomery, but will be coming to Birmingham for the inaugural Birmingham Football Classic. Coach, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. How's it going?
Well, I appreciate you taking time out of your morning. I know you've had a busy fall, so I would like to get a good opening statement for you as you guys prepare to come to Birmingham for the Birmingham Football Classic.
Yeah, so we're excited about having the opportunity to play in the first annual Birmingham Football Classic, and just want to thank the SWAC for inviting us and having us to participate. Have a great opponent, Southern University. So we know the type of intensity that this game is going to bring between the two fan bases, and I know Coach Farker have those guys ready to play. So we're just excited about the opportunity.
So start off with our first question. We have Black college experience.
Hey, good morning, Coach. How are you?
Good morning. How's it going?
Good. So I'll just say, first of all, congratulations on getting this inaugural game. You have a healthy and a lot of key pieces with your team. This is a veteran team. So how important is that opening up against a Southern University with a first-year head coach, Marshall Falk?
Yeah, I was kind of losing some of it, but I think you were kind of talking about how important it is for us to get off to a good start in the first game, if I can sum it up. And so, yeah, I think all coaches. I mean, I can give you the cliche answer. We want we want to win the first one, but no, I think regardless of every coach has the same expectations. You know, we're all trying to have a championship season. That's the goal for everyone. And so you want to get off to a great start. I mean, you want to get off to a great first drive and just, you know, kind of take it one day, one play at a time. But ultimately, we want to get the win, and that's the biggest thing. I don't think no one's looking past the first game or what else is down the schedule. I think every coach in America is just focusing on trying to be 1-0.
Okay, I think I can some feedback, but that answer will work. Thank you, Coach, and see you in Birmingham.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Next question we have is Perry White.
Hey, good morning, Coach.
Good morning. How's it going?
Going good, man. Good to see you. Quick
Absolutely.
question in terms of from a coaching standpoint, preparing for a team and with a new coach, new staff, not much film on it, but for you from a coaching perspective, what is preparation like when you started to prepare for a game and a team there's nothing to base anything off of coming into the season?
Yeah, so I mean, everybody's looking at analytics and trends and things like that. So that does make it tough. I mean, we know some of the guys there, you know, of course, Marshall Faulk, but still just trying to piece together exactly what they're going to do. So we'll have to have some exploratory information after that first quarter and try to really get a sense of how they're trying to attack us and what they're trying to do. You know, but we still had Fred McNair, Curtis Johnson, a lot of really good coaches. Merchant, you know, he was at Sacramento State, so you kind of look at some of the stuff that they're doing and so they did and some of the tendencies there, and then, you know, of course, with Todd Light as a defensive coordinator. But, you know, I think both teams are going to try to figure each other out as soon as they can, and I think that's going to be part of it. The team that can make those adjustments the soonest may have the early success, and then you have to just get out there and play the game. So I think for us, the biggest thing is just to focus on what we're doing, making sure that we're technically sound, you know, covering all of the bases, and don't put the kids in the situation where they're at a disadvantage.
And a quick follow-up question, looking at the go-go offense Southern will be running this year, what have you seen in terms of the scheme that can cause fits to defense?
I think it's just communication. I think, you know, we want to be fast and physical and violent and those type of things. And so when you start having people to move and then multiple options of who can end up with the football, then you want the defense to start thinking, make them communicate, make them talk, make them hesitant. And so, but we're going to play fast. You know, maybe we miss a play or two, but I feel like if you're playing fast and violent, then you kind of eliminate some of the other things that are going on. So I think for us, you know, we can't slow down because a play or two doesn't go our way. And that's part of it, overcoming the adversity. And they're going to make some plays. They got some really good players, you know, heck of a back in Trey Holly. So we know it's going to be tough to try to stop those guys. You know, we're real familiar with the quarterback. Was the kid that we recruited as he came out of high school, a Montgomery kid. So we know some of the personnel, but, you know, it's just got to go out there and play the game and let it settle in, and don't panic when things don't go your way if you give up a play or two.
Thank you, Coach.
Absolutely.
Next question in the chat will be Ty Miller.
Hey, Coach. How you doing this morning, Eddie?
Doing well. Good morning.
Eddie, the last time Alabama State won a championship was 1991. You were on that team, and the only blemish, if it was a blemish, was a 14-14 tie against Texas Southern. Fast forwarding to now, and your team is favored by a lot of pundits to be the team to beat this year. Are there any similarities that you can remember that you may be seeing with your present group of players?
Well, I think the biggest thing that I see is just the work ethic. You know, just guys were out there this morning on the jugs machine, you know, on the day off. And so that's not something that we're telling them to do. They're doing it on their own. So I think when you have guys that just want to work above what the coaches are telling them to do, and I think that's the thing that we've been kind of pushing, is to have leadership within the building. And so ultimately, you know, as coaches, we're kind of directing the team, but it's still the players' team. I mean, they have to go out there and play. We can put them in a great situation. They still have to make the play. You know, I can't win the game for them. I can put them in the position to win the game. And so I just love the way that the guys are taking upon themselves to, you know, do the little things, to hang together, to bond together, and then just work. I think is no substitute for hard work. And I think we have a lot of guys in the building who are doing the extra things. And so that's what makes me feel like, you know, we have a chance to be a really good team.
And one follow-up on the Birmingham Classic. A lot of players on Alabama State's team are from Alabama. How do they feel about playing in such I guess a legendary stadium like Legion Field, even though it doesn't have the luster it used to have, but they get to play in Legion Field to kick off a new classic for the city and the state?
Yeah, so I think you know, as cars, people, everything, as you get older, you either become a classic or a clunker, right? So I think Legion Field to me is a classic stadium. Yeah, it's older, it doesn't have all of the bells and whistles, but I can't drive into Birmingham and not drive past Legion Field and just don't think about all of the great memories of the Magic City Classics, the Iron Bowls, and all of the great games that that stadium has hosted. And so a lot of our kids have that same type of memory, and our coaches also. So for us, it's just an honor. Whenever we can get a chance to go there and play in Legion Field, you know, we have the big Magic City Classic, of course, towards the middle of the year. But just to start off the first game there, I think for our fan base, they're going to really enjoy it. I think the Southern fans are going to enjoy it also. Yeah, it's a little rusty on some edges and stuff like that, but I think if you are old school classic football type guy, when you pull up to the stadium, you see the two lions in front. You know, if you haven't played or been to Legion Field, I think it's just a great venue. You need to try to check out a game.
Thanks, Coach, and good luck this weekend.
Appreciate it.
We have our next question in the queue for Wayne Cartwright.
Hey, Coach Robinson, good to see you again, sir.
Good morning. How's it going?
Doing well. Welcome to a new season.
Thank you. Thank you.
So for me today, what I just want to ask is, in this era of transfer portal, you know, where there's turnover on every roster, can you talk about just the difficulties or, you know, some of the opportunities that come with trying to get ready for new opponents, specifically like this in week number 1, where you've got new personnel on their side, new head coach, all of the above?
Yeah, it makes it difficult. It's almost like like an NFL type of deal, where guys are transferring from place to place, and so you're trying to look and see, okay, this kid, we know he came from this school and he was good there. What did he do good at the previous school? And so that's just part of it. It's the transition that you have to make. Same thing with coaches moving from place to place, and so to me, I always follow coordinators, not so much teams, and that I guess that's kind of like an NFL mindset. You know, if I'm playing a team, but this coordinator who I've coached against or played against in the past, I'm gonna look and see what this coordinator wants to do. So I think you have to have that type of mentality. So not just that you're playing Southern, but you got to play the coaches that are in the building, so you can kind of match up against their scheme, if that makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense, Coach. So good luck to you, and we'll definitely be watching that game on Saturday.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
And thank you, Coach Robinson. Now, as we let you get to prepare more for this weekend, we will not take too much of your time, and see you Saturday.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Next on our schedule, we have is Coach Cedric Thomas from.
I did.
And as we now prepare for Coach Thomas to prepare, you have Miles College, who you will be taking on. And before we let you go any further and have anyone else in the chat, please open us with a good opening statement of how you feel about just opening the season.
Well, it comes fast. You know, had a really good camp. Administration did a really good job of making sure the guys had, you know, everything they needed, you know, getting in early, dorm situated, from an academic piece, making sure your class schedules and everything was good. And so we had a really good camp, you know, really hot, had a chance to compete, you know, had some bumps and bruises, but guys are really, you know, now getting their limbs up under them and kind of being, you know, all in, you know, just from a health standpoint. Had a really good walkthrough Saturday. And so I'm just excited about the opportunity to start the 26th season off versus a really good football team.
Now we'll direct our first question to James.
Coach, how you doing this morning?
Doing blessed. How about yourself?
Doing good. How much of a difference is it for your squad to open the season at home at night rather than opening at, you know, the traditional afternoon games that we normally see in Lorman? And what have you done to try to get your team acclimated to playing that night game at home?
You know, just to be at home itself, you know, is just comfortable and, you know, just in the confines of, you know, where we are. We know you know, the rigors of being on the road the last 2 years, you know, here. And so finally be at home is really good. And so, you know, it's going to be hot. It's going to be hot. We had a really good mock scrimmage, mock game on Saturday, you know, same kickoff. Guys was, you know, out pregame, you know, 4:30 and specialists, and everybody had a chance to see what that Mississippi heat feels like, you know, at 6 o'clock. And so normally we practice in the morning, but this was a really good time to have a dress rehearsal to see, you know, what the humidity would feel like. Just to get that, you know, was really good. And so we're excited not only to be at home and sleep in our own beds, but also give our fans a good showing. But we know, you know, we got to be in shape and be conditioned and be well hydrated.
Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Next question will be Wayne Cartwright.
Coach Thomas, how are you, sir?
Oh, I'm blessed. What's up with you, Wayne?
Hey, man, I'm doing well today. Hey, I just want to ask you, obviously, me and you, we've talked at great length during the preseason. Where I want to go with this question, you know, we talked about replacing your running back room. So you talked about how Carl McDonald was, you know, probably the guy that had the most experience coming back. You got guys like Ernest Temple, a bunch of others. What's the state of your running back room ahead of your game here on Saturday?
You know, the same as we spoke. You know, that's the good thing. You know, Ernest, he did a really good job, you know, pushing up the rear. Frederick Robinson, you know, La Tech transfer, did a really good job. You'll see him a bunch. And Carl McDonald just kind of led the charge. You know, he did everything we wanted him to do, being here, playing behind those really good running backs in the pass. Did a good job in the pass pro. Really, really physical. You know, anytime you got a young back that is excited of blocking for the quarterback, you know, really makes sense. And so he's our kind of guy, but he's definitely going to be explosive for us in the run game. But him and Fred will get the nod, and then you'll see, you know, you'll see Ernest Temple, and you'll see some guys, Josh Tate, that'll come, you know, right after them. So we feel good about that backfield core. You know, Coach Booz does an excellent job, you know, with those guys, and so we're excited. We know, you know, just first game of the year and the temperature. So, you know, hopefully we'll get a chance to play a lot of guys in that backfield that's worthy of carries.
Well, best of luck, Coach. And obviously, yeah, getting a home game in August and not your first one being in October like last year is a plus. We'll talk next week, Coach. Good luck.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Next in the queue will be Steven Robinson.
Good morning, Coach Thomas. How you doing, sir?
Morning, Stephen. I'm blessed. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, doing well. Down here, or rather up here in the Delta, based on where you are.
Yeah.
I was just curious, Coach. You've been around the game for a long time as a head coach, assistant coach, various positions, various places. But I love to go back to the foundation in terms of some mentors who poured into you, in particular in the Delta, that have helped you get to where you are right now. Who are those mentors and how much did they influence you?
Man, tremendously. Lucy Seabury at one time, I think, was the winningest one girls high school coach in Mississippi. She was awesome. I mean, she really helped me. You know, Charles Brady, you know, he did a really good job, you know, from a football standpoint. Larry Williams, who's the head coach at Kahoma. You know, he was my first junior college coach. He did a, you know, really good job, just kind of mentoring me and, you know, keeping me on the right path. I tell people all the time, I wasn't always Coach Thomas, but those were some really good guys. You know, Coach McGinnis, Charles McGinnis, you know, middle school, you know, basketball coach, you know, really helped me navigate through, you know, some of the rigors of, you know, growing up in the Delta. And rest in peace, Bo Cox. You know, Coach Cox, you know, coached me and went over to Ruleville. So, and I can't say enough about the people that's in the area that really poured into me, that really helped me get to where I am today, and I'm forever grateful. Before I, you know, go on, Stephen, I'd be remiss to, you know, not speak on the young man who lost his life from from Humphreys County. So we praying, you know, for him and his family. You know, senseless violence, please, it needs to stop, you know, everywhere, but especially, you know, around where we at. And so I had my team meeting yesterday, and you know, just talk to those guys about how important it is about making good decisions. But, you know, our public just want to reach out, you know, to his family and tell them they all in our prayers.
All right. Thank you, Coach, and wish you well in the opener.
Appreciate it.
Next question in the queue will be Charles Porter.
Coach, how you doing?
Oh, I'm blessed. How about yourself?
Man, I'm doing fantastic. Didn't get a chance to get you on the show at SWAC Media Day, but I'm just so excited for you. Many of my questions have already been answered, but I want to revisit opening day on the reservation and how important that is for your players to get that excitement early. Like, of course, you didn't start until October. We had 2 of your games last year. By the way, I'm still waiting on my barbecue.
Yeah,
And
I got you.
but how exciting is this for your team? I mean, you got to stay a little grounded, but man, the fans are going to be out there on the reservation tailgating. It's just going to be a festive atmosphere, one of the most hyped atmospheres in college football. I'm telling you, I love coming to the reservation. How are you guys working through all of the hoop lore?
You're just staying focused. It's not just cliche, but when we hear by ourselves, and then all of a sudden you get 1,500 to 2,000 students coming with the band, and regular students. No distractions. We had no disciplinary issues. With guys not being where they're supposed to be, and I thought they blocked out all the external powers to be able to really stay in tune to what was going on. And so just coming off the end of the season and just hearing all the support from the community and from the staff and then the admin, everybody excited. And so the guys are too. I got some guys that have been on this roster, and in my tenure, we never played the first 2 games at home. And so now we get the first one at home. Kudos to the administration for allowing that to happen. And so we're excited about it and ready to put on the show. These guys, get a chance to see some of the same people who poured in them for the last month or so. And so, now we just excited about having an opportunity to play, in our own home.
All right, Coach. Good luck this week. Can't wait to see you Saturday.
Appreciate it. We'll definitely get that barbecue to you.
We'll be looking. Thank you.
And on the time for Coach Cedric Thomas, thank you for joining us this morning, taking time out of your morning, and good luck in your opening game.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And now, stand on schedule, we now move to head coach from Bethune-Cookman. We have Raymond Woody, who is joining us. So, Coach, how are you doing this morning?
Outstanding, and yourself?
Doing well. Thank you for joining us this morning. Your schedule's a little bit different, as you get to sit back on the 29th and still mentally prepare as your team takes on UCF on September 3rd. So just would like to start out with an opening statement for that.
Well, our guys been working hard, obviously all summer school, making sure they are handling their academics, which they did. Going into camp, we've been really intentional about the technique fundamentals and attention to detail. Had a scrimmage this past Saturday. It was really aggressive, and guys were getting after it, just trying to, make the bus. We got a lot of young guys that's competing, some older guys stepping up, being leaders like they should. And we're excited, for our first contest down there in the bounce house. It's going to be a big time environment on ESPN. So the guys are progressing each day.
We'll start our first question from Perry White.
Good morning, Coach Woody. How you doing?
Doing well, and yourself?
Doing good. Coming out of the fall last year, you guys were pretty hot down the stretch in competition for right there with the SWAC East. Coming into 2026, give me one position that you think could be an immediate impact and some guys in that position that we'll tend to learn as the season goes on.
I couldn't hear you. What you said?
Can you hear me better?
Yes, I can hear you better now.
All right. I was saying coming out of last year, you guys had gotten hot down the stretch, but coming into this season, give me one position that you think can make an immediate impact for your team and some of the names of those guys at the position.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're in a situation now. We haven't named the QB. Obviously, I want to be able to do that before the start of the season. And I think, with Amari Jones, Tyler Jefferson, those guys are competing. It's really close, and I just think the guy that we named, they will make an immediate impact. I mean, you got one that's a dual threat, and then you got one that's a pretty much drop back passer, smart as a type, make really good decisions. I think that's the big key, being able to put the best guy behind the center to make the decisions that they need to make on a consistent level. Because what you don't want to do is just put a guy just because he can run, throw, and jump. You want to put a guy back there that's really, really heady and understand the whole, not just the part, but understand the whole dynamics of what we as coaches wanted him to do. So I think that's going to be a big impact, whomever we call to be that guy, because they've been having really good camp.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Next question in the queue is for Wayne Cartwright.
Hey, Coach. I know you guys are sitting around a little bit longer than you probably want to, but my question for you today is just really about, you guys lost so much in terms of personnel, obviously, like a lot of teams do, but you guys were hit really hard at receiver with Malik Huggins and Javon Ross heading on to FBS. So where do you guys stand in your receiving room right now as of today, ahead of getting ready for next week's game 1?
Well, we always say, right, come to work and go to work. The next guy step up. We feel like we have a group of guys that really love each other, and they're not selfish, they're selfless. So with that being said, those guys in the total group are progressing each day. They don't care who gets the credit. So I just think this year that team of receivers, they're more family. It's not, hey, I want 15 balls a game. It's like, hey, coach, I will block instead of to catch the ball to make the overall team better.
Well, thank you, Coach. We'll talk next week ahead of your first game.
Thank you.
Next question in the queue is from James Hill.
Coach, I hope you and everyone in Daytona are well. Can you talk a little bit about the Let's Go Wildcats football program as you continue to put your stamp and build this program and produce wins and victories and just quality student athletes?
Well, I tell you, it's not about me. It's about we, having a plan, sticking with the plan. I have to contribute that to the whole coaching staff, administration, and the players, biting into the plan. Because, when I first got here, I was coming off a 2-9 season, APR at the lowest, and now we're not on any probation. We're winning games, but now we got to take the next step. I really feel like our players, they understand what a player-led team means. When you finish practice, finish meeting, and they're out there amongst themselves, trying to get better. And when I see that, I'd say, hey, you know what, they're getting it. And it's all about the little details of what you tell them and what they do when you tell them. And I'm starting to see, as a group, guys progressing in that way.
Coach, quickly, you'll see UCF, but talk a little bit about what you want to see with your team between now and kickoff over at UCF.
Well, I want those guys to execute. I want them to be intentional with the technique, fundamentals, and attention to detail. Obviously, that equals a correlation of the play. And, being able to take care of the ball, being able to stop the run and play good special teams.
Thank you, sir. Have a great week.
You as well.
And Coach Woody, thank you for the time you spent with us this morning, and we wish you the best of luck as you prepare for UCF.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
Thank you. And now we shift our schedule over and our attention to Florida A&M as Coach Quinn Gray will be joining us. And Coach Quinn Gray will be preparing to take on Albany State in their opening game. Coach, can you lead us off with an opening statement for that?
Morning, everybody. Really just looking forward to going up against somebody different. We've been in camp 4 weeks now, and our guys are really excited about being able to prepare for a game. I think for us, with the schedule changing into, getting into game prep and all that good stuff, the monotony of summer camp was something that, our guys were excited to get out of. So we're excited to be able to get in preparation, game week preparation, and get our minds focused on a different opponent and being able to hit somebody in a different jersey. So we're excited for that. And then we're looking forward to going out on Saturday and hopefully putting on a good product.
We'll start with our first question from Perry White.
Hey, good morning, Coach. How you doing?
Doing well.
You're through and through, fam. You talk about instilling that culture, and there was a lot of things that you wanted to bring back from the yesteryears, but just coming back and instilling the culture, and what does that culture look like at FAMU these days under your leadership?
Just understanding the foundation that was built before a lot of us got here, understanding the history of this university, and then also understanding the history of this program. Because there's just a lot of things that these young people don't necessarily pay attention to or know. And that's not necessarily their fault. So it's really up to us as the grown-ups to make sure that they understand the foundation that's been laid before they got here, and understanding the people that have laid that foundation for them to be able to wear the orange and green on each and every Saturday. So for us, it's really built around being all in. And it's posted everywhere you go around here. That's how we speak. That's the language we talk about, because we understand that it's always standards over feelings. And as long as you're living up to the standard, your feelings won't matter. So these guys understand the route that we're taking as it relates to this program moving forward. And I think they've did a good job of honing in on what it is that's expected of them from a standard standpoint. And I think we're starting to see the change that we're looking for as a coaching staff.
Thank you, Coach.
Our next question comes from James Hill.
Coach, I hope you and everyone on the highest of 7 hills are well this morning. Talk a little bit about the Quinn Gray era kicks off on Saturday. You'll see Albany, you'll see FAM, two programs from the inside out, and it's a beautiful thing. Talk a little bit about Saturday night, what we can expect.
Obviously, the pageantry and all that good stuff of HBCU football is what it is. But for us as a staff, myself, it's more about the game. There's a lot of things being put on this game simply because of where I come from and where I've been. But at the end of the day, it's game one for us, and it's week 0, and we're getting prepared to go play an opponent, regardless of who it is. Obviously, with it being the first home game, and then also the first game with me being back, there's a lot of emphasis being put on that. On top of playing the team that I led last year as the head coach, so. With that, we as a coaching staff understand what that looks like, and we're more so concerned with making sure that our guys are prepared to go out and play the best football that they can possibly play on Saturday versus the pageantry and the excitement around what people are putting the emphasis on, and that's me and the Albany State past and all that good stuff. So we're looking forward to going in and playing a good football game and coming out of that thing with a victory.
Coach, your quarterback room. Talk a little bit about your quarterback, dynamic player, and just talk a little bit about what that looks like.
Isaiah, everybody knows who he is. Isaiah has been doing it for the last 3 years at Albany State with me. So the expectation for him, he has high expectations for himself, obviously, and nobody will ever put more expectations on him than he'll put on himself. So we're excited to see what it looks like on a Division I level. And he's been preparing just as everybody else on this team has been preparing to go into this game and to go in this season. So we're excited to see what he'll do on Saturday.
Thank you, Coach. Welcome home.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Wayne Cartwright.
Hey, Coach Gray, how are you today, sir? Good to talk to you.
Doing well.
So can you talk a little bit about, obviously you said a lot about, playing the team that you just coached. You got a quarterback who's going up against a team that he just played for. How much, if any, have you talked about managing the emotions of the moment ahead of this game on Saturday?
It's not any different from any game. To be honest with you, obviously, him being able to go up against some of his former teammates, there's the trash talking going back and forth, but just got to understand when you do the trash talking, you got to be able to back it up on Saturday, because there's a lot of that going on as it relates to coming from the other side. So, with that, that's a part of it, especially when it comes down to playing former teammates and all that good stuff. So I'm sure he's looking forward to going up against those guys and going out there and being able to shut them up as it relates to the talk that's been going on. So I'm excited to see him go out there and put his best foot forward, and we'll see how Saturday turns out.
Well, best of luck to you guys heading up on Saturday. We'll talk to you next week.
Appreciate it.
Next question in the queue will be from Ty Miller.
Hey, Coach Greg, good morning to you.
Morning.
One of your mentors was Billy Joe, and when you took the job at Florida A&M, did you have a chance to speak with him? And if so, what was that conversation about upon taking the job?
Coach Billy and Joe and I have had a relationship since I was 18 years old. So having conversations with him was nothing new as it relates to being here and back on the hill. So conversations between Coach Billy Joe and I have been taking place for over the last 28, 29, 30, almost 30 years at this point. So he and I have a great relationship. He was able to do things or give me things in ways that I could have never imagined. For me, I try to tell my assistant coaches that as a coach, you want to take players where they can't take themselves. And he was one of the ones that was able to do that for me. And the conversation that he and I had was nothing different from any conversation that we would have. Preparation for the season, making sure that you're doing things the right way, running some ideas that I might have by him. And then just also, he always wants to talk about the good old days in the Gulf Coast offense. So we had our conversations about that and what that looks like moving forward. But, for the most part, our conversations have been normal conversations, nothing in terms of anything new that would be alarming as it relates to our conversation because of the job. But, just normal conversations, and him and I continuing to keep our relationship going as it has over the last several years.
And just to give you a brief follow-up, going back to the game against Youngstown State back in the 90s, what would it take to get FAMU back to that level of playoff contenders that Billy Joe took you all to back in those days?
I don't know if we can get back to that level because we're not able to go to the playoffs if we're winning like we're supposed to, because it's always going to be the Celebration Bowl as of right now. So back then, it took what it took back then, and we'll have to find out what it takes to get back to that level. But sound football, smart, fast, physical football is what it's going to take to win any game, right? And to be able to get to a championship level, you have to have guys that have a championship mindset. And that's what we're trying to build and instill into these young men as it relates to moving forward. Just because, we did it once or whatever the case may be, that doesn't guarantee success moving forward. So we have to make sure that, as coaches, we're putting these guys in the best situation possible for them to be successful. And then they have to be willing to accept what it is that it's going to take to be champions, because we got what we call a championship checklist. And if they're able to check off the 8 things that's on that list, then there's no greater reward out of that list than winning, right? So for that, whatever we have to do to try and get back to that level, whatever that level is, we're willing to do that, and we'll find out what those things are moving forward.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
We have time for one more question for Coach Gray, and that will come from James Hill.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about the Rattlers defense, the secondary, the linebackers, the line, just so far what you see in camp as guys get ready for Saturday?
We're going to be a defense that flies around. We got some guys that can really twitchy as it relates to our defense. And I'm excited to see those guys move, especially up front, because we got some experience coming back as it relates to our defensive front. So I'm excited to see, what those guys will do on Saturday. They've been giving us fits in practice during camp, so I'm excited to see them go up against a different color. So for that, our linebackers have done a tremendous job this camp of doing what Coach Lewis has asked them to do. And then from a secondary standpoint, we got some experience there. We got some new guys there, more so than anywhere else. But at the end of the day, we're excited to see what those guys can do when it comes down to putting it on the field on Saturday.
Thank you, Coach.
And thank you, Coach Gray, for joining us this morning ahead of the opening weekend. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now we move over to Grambling State head coach Mickey Joseph, as Coach Joseph is now joining us. Coach Joseph, how you doing this morning?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
Doing well. Thank you for joining us this morning. Know you're finally ready to not hit against the same people as your guys. So now you guys get to open up with Clark Atlanta. If you start out with an opening statement for that.
Well, I'm very pleased with the summer workouts. I'm very pleased with the fall camp. Fall camp was kind of cut short because we started school August 13th. So it's kind of cut short. We got 2 tackling days in. So we got to continue working on our tackling, continue working on our blocking. And so far, I'm happy with what I see with the kids. They really have bought in, and the coaching staff is doing a tremendous job right now.
I have our first question from James Hill.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everybody in Grambling are well. Talk a little bit about this first game. You get Clark Atlanta comes in, Coach Terry and his guys, but talk a little bit about Grambling and what you want to do in this first game.
Well, right now we don't have a whole bunch of film on them because they've just gotten there. So right now we have to depend on our rules about how we're going to defend, zone reads, how we're going to defend counter, how we're going to attack quarters, how we're going to attack three weak. So we're going to go to our rules. We don't know much about them personnel wise, but we do know the coaches. Terry's a great coach, even greater man, but we don't know much about the personnel that they're going to put out there. And with this transfer portal, they can run out there with 11 monsters because a lot of kids have been getting let go lately and have nowhere to go but the D2 or NAIA. So I'm going to see how that's going to push out for the future, because I don't think that's fair that kids get kicked off the team and they can't get in a transfer portal. And so I didn't know it was going to work out like this, but as far as getting back to Clark's, they have a solid coaching staff. And those kids, they Georgia kids, so they're gonna be revved up and ready to go. But like right now, we don't know much about them personnel wise, but we do know schematic wise, have kind of an idea what they should do if they continue to do what they did in the past.
Let's talk a little bit about the sense of urgency of HBCU, the SWAC. Student athletes want to play, and they want to play immediately because college football is changing. But talk about giving guys that opportunity, and of course they have to earn it.
Well, we so far we have 62% of our roster back that's gone on in 3rd year with us. So we've been to retain, most of the kids that we started with. We had to clean up the roster, but we do give you the opportunity to play. But you're right, you have to earn it here. We're just not going to put you out there. You have to earn it. And we understand that we developing kids right now. We understand that that's what we do in the SWAC. That's what they're doing in MEAC and all the D2 HBCU conference, because we pull from them. The big boys pull from us. But we understand right now that we are the developers. We are the developers. We are not just the recruiters anymore. We are the developers because we're developers because you come and get our kids. We're not coming to get your kids. When they kids fall down from Power 5 to FCS, alarms go off in this building. Why? Why is he coming down this far? So we do a good research on them and make sure that the kid's the right fit for us. But we want to give kids opportunity, and also tell kids this: don't look down on these NAIAs and these D2s when they give you offers, because now you got to go where you celebrate it at, not tolerate it, because eventually we're going to have to start pulling off a D2 and NAI rosters, compare him to a high school kid, and that kid's going to have one advantage. He already have played college football. So we're going to give you the opportunity at Grambling, but, we stuck with this 105 roster, and I'm hoping they get away from that soon, because we have a lot of kids that want to play here, but we got to turn them away because we only can go to 105. But we definitely want kids to come here and give them opportunity to play at Grambling.
Thank you, Coach. Have a blessed season.
Thank you.
Next question will come from Wayne Cartwright.
Hey, Coach Joseph, good to see you. Welcome to a new season.
How you doing, Wayne?
I'm blessed and highly favored, Coach. Ready to get this thing rolling. Tired of all that talk. Anyway, anyhow, speaking of getting away from the talk, let's talk about for real. Let's talk about, you guys have landed on the line this season. Obviously, that came from a lot of your personnel moves, your coaching staff moves, all that kind of stuff. Who are players' names that you need to set the tone starting here on Saturday to get you guys going in the right direction in 2026?
I think it's going to start up front on both sides. Alex Vigil's our center. I think he's a 3-year starter. The 3 years, maybe 2-year starter, but he sets the tone. We happy with the guards that we have. The guards and the tackles with Amon Pathay. And we got Jaron Ackerman, the kid we got out of St. Louis, and Kenny Boston and Devon Kinlaw. So we're gonna start up front on the offensive line and on the D line. We have some kids that we excited about. Sherrod's been around, Bush been around, College Francis has been around, Sykes has been around. So we're gonna start with the kids up front. We need to see those guys play well early, because I know what they've been doing all summer. All summer they've been playing 7-on-7. Nobody's been tackling. Nobody's been tackling. They can say what they want. They hadn't been tackling, because these kids right now, you got to really teach that. It's not back in the days where you woke up to tackle. These kids wake up to play 7-on-7 and play finesse football. So we want to see if you want to take on blocks, and we want to see if you want to be gap integrity. So we're going to do that on offense, and we're going to try to stuff the run on defense.
Well, sounds good, Coach. Looking forward to talking to you all season. Good luck on Saturday.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Next question will be for Perry White.
Hey, good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Perry. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Good to speak with you this morning. Quick question. Going back from last year, a lot of tough losses. You're talking about one possession. It's a matter of points. What did you do when you went back and evaluated to figure out what could you do with your team moving forward in 2026 to try to get over that hump and put you guys in a position for a championship?
Oh, when I went back and watched those 1-score losses, I wanted to puke. Because I had to be a better head coach in the situation and make sure I'm putting my players and my staff in the best situation to win the game. So I had to be honest with myself when I look in the mirror and say, they're not blowing us out. We lost a play here, lost a play there, and we can't depend on other people to help us. We got to help ourselves. So when it's 3:37 and we up by 2, we got to make sure we're putting the right personnel on the field to run the ball to make sure we don't give it back to them. When there's a minute 3 to go in the game and we up by 2, we got to have the right personnel on defense to make sure that we don't let them go down and score, kick a field goal, or score a touchdown. But also we need to be more aggressive on special teams. I looked at that. We could have blocked more punts. So, we need to be more aggressive on special teams. So it starts with me. Y'all know me. I'm always going to stand on the table and I'm never going to point fingers. I'm going to start with me, that I had to do a better job. And we're going to do a better job, because I'm going to do a better job. The kids understand that. We put them in a lot of 4-minute offense. We put the defense in a lot of 2-minute drives. And, with the 4-minute, don't give the ball back to them. We got to get a first down. But we got to figure out as a head coach and a coaching staff what personnel needs to be out there. Same goes with the defense. But it was hard, because you look at it and say, okay, we should have won this game. But you know how it is with if in this game. There's no ifs. So we'll be better this year, and we're looking forward to the challenges of playing these tight games, because everything in the SWAC is going to come down to the last play. And that's one thing I always say. SEC of SWAC football, of HBCU football is the SWAC, because every day, every Saturday, you got to tie your shoes up. But we're not overlooking Clark, and we're not overlooking Central State. That's 2 very good football teams. We're excited to play them. But like you said, we want to make sure that we do the right things and have the right people on the field at the right time.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
And thank you, Coach Joseph, for joining us for your time. And We appreciate you and good luck hosting Clark Atlanta this weekend.
Okay, good luck to you guys also. I'll see y'all next week.
Thank you.
All right.
And now we shift over regularly scheduled to Arkansas's Pine Bluff head coach Alonzo Hampton as his team gets ready to play this week. They will be playing Morehouse College. Should be a big game. And coach, how you doing this morning?
Doing great. How you guys doing?
Doing great. Can't complain. So I know again, like say you'll be playing against Morehouse. So we'd like for you to start off with an opening statement regarding that.
Yeah, we're excited about getting the season started in 2026. We had a great camp, 3 weeks of camp, and our guys worked hard, man. We have 105 players, the most since we've been here. And so everybody's excited about the opportunity to go out there and showcase their talents against a really good Morehouse college football team. We got a new staff coming in. Coach is a tremendous coach, got over 30 years of experience, a lot of different levels. So it'll be a good ball game. We're looking forward to it.
Start our first question from Tanner Spearman.
Good morning, Coach Hampton. How you doing?
Good morning, Tanner.
Hey, so like you said, a new staff, new head coach over there at Morehouse, with Brad Shaw taking over there. What are you guys expecting to see from a Morehouse team under his leadership? And also, how do you go about scouting and preparing for a team playing its first game under a new coach?
Well, obviously, he's a defensive guy, so you kind of have a really good idea of what they're going to be on defense. And then you just kind of go by and look at the guys that he brought in on the staff, where they've been, as far as offensive coordinators or offensive backgrounds. And then you get a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. But just like most of the coaches said, man, that first couple drives, you got to kind of figure out like your system in place on defense, and offense have to be able to work against whatever defense that they're presented with. So our kids are excited about that. So we have some things that we think they may do, but again, it's college football. You're going to have to make adjustments, and we look forward to that. But again, everywhere he's been, man, he's done a good job of getting his guys to play hard on defense, and then on offense. Obviously, most people are going to be some form of spread, and they like to run the football. That's a winning motto for anybody. If you can run the football, stop the run, and then take your shots when necessary. So it'll be a little filling out process, but we're excited about the opportunity to be able to play in front of our fans in the Natural State Kickoff Classic.
And Coach, for your team, obviously, the past years you've been here, your first game has always been some FBS Power 5 opponent. Different story this time. When you talk about that first game and really getting a chance to see these guys out there and evaluate who can help you for the rest of the season, how much of a difference does it make to have this type of opponent versus playing someone like Arkansas or Texas Tech week 1?
Yeah, man, it's good for us as a coaching staff. Obviously, when you're playing those other schools, man, you just you're putting your guys out there. You may not have had all the your guys ready. You got to get guys clear, right? You may get guys as banged up. And so being able to play a game at home, we were able to travel more players. And now you got the 5-for-5 rule, so we can take more players. Now everybody it was a kind of different camp motto type of deal, right? Everybody know they got an opportunity to play every game. And so you're going to get a little more competitive nature from young guys. And then what we've been able to do now, knowing that we're going to be in front of our fans, right? You're not going to be the one that's getting things thrown at you or people saying this or saying that. So that's exciting to us. And it's like a Super Bowl. Anytime you can play in a classic for us, man, we got so many events that we got all throughout the week. Now I got a couple of different events on Friday. So it feels like, the Southern Heritage Classic in Memphis. It's just a big old party. And so our fan base is excited. Our kids are excited, and we got a really good opponent coming in to play us.
All right, thank you, Coach. See you on Saturday.
All right, you too.
We'll direct our next question to Wayne Cartwright.
Coach Hampton, good to see you, sir. Welcome to a new season.
Yes, sir. Good to see you.
So where I'm going here today with this question, obviously you've got a new offensive coordinator. You've got new personnel across that side of the ball. Just fill us in on where your offense is, quarterback room, skill positions, all that getting ready for this game here on Saturday?
I mean, obviously we got, 3 returning starters back or 3 guys that have played a lot on the offensive line. We got 3 running backs that we feel really good with. Jalen Jennings, first team all conference is back. Then we got Zamarian Weber, that was the starter before he's got hurt. He's back. Then we signed another kid. We're gonna be able to run the football. Got really, really talented receivers that can stretch the field. And so we're excited about what we have, possibilities as an offense. And then, obviously as the quarterback position, we'll see who we trot out there first, right? The first game, Garrison Davis, he started the last game against Alabama State. He's coach's son, very intelligent, understand where the ball needs to go. And then you got Jack Sherhost. He's done a really good job. He's been around, smart kid. And then we got Landon Holcomb and Champion Edwards. So we're not asking our quarterback to do nothing but protect the football. If you want to load the box, we'll throw the ball over top. But we're going to run our offense. We're going to play complementary football in all 3 phases. We're going to be able to stop the run on defense. And I think that helps our offense. Again, the strength of our football team will be our running backs, right? Until we need to throw it. And then that may be the strength of our football team. So we're excited about getting them out there. We've been going at it for 3 weeks, man. And Coach Burrow, defensive staff is back. So we put a lot of pressure on the offense. And now those guys get an opportunity to play a really good Morehouse team that we do. I think some of the things we do defensively is very similar to what they do as well.
Well, Coach, good luck to you on Saturday. I know you said you guys are painting the city black and gold, so have a lot of fun, and we'll talk next week.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Our next question from Perry White.
Good morning, Coach Hampton. How you doing?
Good morning. How you doing?
Doing good. Listen, no doubt about it, UAPB has had talent over the years. You got 5 guys on the all SWAC selection this year. Talk to us about those 5 guys and what makes them special in terms of their talent.
Those guys have worked. We took over the program. You're building it day by day. And so what you're seeing now is guys that have earned some respect. We started freshmen every year. You're talking about Nick Carter, freshman, did a really good job. And then you got D'Avery Robinson, receiver, Jalen Jennings, the tailback. I tell people he was our 4th team tailback before it took 3 guys to get hurt. And then he stepped in, did a good job. And then on defense, you got Daenerys Hiller. He's a tackling machine. He's first team all conference player last year in his preseason, first team. And then you got Marquise Cagle. Defensive lineman, probably would have been first team if he hadn't got banged up. I think he missed like 4 games. So what we've done is we've recruited some really good players, and a lot of those guys have decided to stay with us. And now that's what you're seeing when you get that many guys. But at the end of the day, it's not where you started, it's how you finish. And those guys know that these preseason stats are nothing but preseason stats. You got to go earn it every single day on the practice field, every game that you play, every quarter, every possession. And that's the mentality. And I think what we're starting to see headed into year 4 is guys are bought into the process. You can't get too far ahead, just daily deposits. And that's what those guys are doing. But we have more guys, and I'll be honest that they're going to be showing some of the things that they can do. We got to get the ball to our playmakers in space. And on defense, man, we got some guys that are really ready to cut it loose. So I'm excited to see everybody play.
Thank you, Coach. My mom's a UAPB alum, so she'll be at War Memorial this weekend to cheer you guys on.
I appreciate it.
Coach Hampton, we appreciate you taking the time out this morning with us, and good luck in Little Rock.
Man, appreciate it. Y'all be blessed.
Next, we shift our attention and our schedule over to Terrell Buckley, head coach for Mississippi Valley State. Coach Buckley, how you doing this morning?
Doing well. Missing a little sleep, but I'm doing well.
Thank you for taking the time out your morning to join us as your team will open the SWAC action of football this week, not playing on Saturday, but we'll have Thursday night action on the road at Nichols. Can you go ahead and give us an opening statement how you feel about that?
Oh, very, very excited. You know, we had the opportunity to move the game from Saturday to Thursday night and get a little bit of that early action so people can see the work we've put in, that we've been putting in since the spring and what we've been doing over the summer and training camp. I'm really, really excited about being able to showcase the improvement I feel like we've made.
All right, we'll direct our first question to Wayne Cartwright.
Hey, Coach Buck, welcome to a new season, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. You can see by his hair, yes.
Well, hey, with Nichols, obviously they went 4-8 last year, but when you look at their record, you know, they lost a couple of like 3 FBS games. They competed well, and Chris Rabaki runs a pretty good system down there. Talk a little bit about the preparation that you guys have and things you've seen from that Nichols team so far in your preparation.
Well, you just go back to when he's coming over from Western Kentucky, you know, being part of that lineage. And the way they played LSU last year was pretty tough. The way they played Eastern Louisiana, same team that we played last year. We know we're gonna have our hands full. The work is gonna be cut out for us. But that's why we're here. That's the preparation, getting ready for them. Theme is that this is, again, not the same old Valley. We've improved even from last year. This is an opportunity for us to see where we're at. Not just, you know, we want to go down and win the ball game, of course, but we also want to get an evaluation of where we're at.
Well, Coach, best of luck down there on Thursday. We'll be looking at it and looking forward to talking to you all season.
Thank you. Same here.
Next question will be from Charles Porter.
Coach,
hey,
good morning.
Hey.
How you doing? My
well.
good friend, the change agent.
Yes, absolutely.
How has the change been for year 2 for you?
You know what? When like last year was kind of, you know, you hear everybody telling you about what they expect and how, you know, being in the HBCU world, coming from the SEC and from the support to the fans to all that. It was year 1 to me was an observation period. Now going into year 2, I know what to expect. I know how the setup is. I know how hard it is. I know where we're at, where we've been at Valley. And so going into camp with all that gave me an opportunity to settle in as a coach. And this year I'm coaching, and I'm coaching the entire secondary. So, and being the head coach, sometimes I have to have a tough conversation with the head coach. like, hey, Coach Buck, the head coach, let me talk to you as a position coach. So this year, the transition has been a lot smoother and easier than my first year.
Coach, I'm really excited for Valley. You know, Coach Jackson down at Prairie says he has residence. He thinks he has residence in Atlanta. Well, I have residence in Itabena because I've got 3 of your games this year. I love coming down to Mississippi Valley State. I think you're doing a great job, Coach. Those fans of yours are really starting to get excited. I'm watching social media. You beat in some great guys. Tell us a little bit about the defense. We know what you're going to do on offense, but defensively, now that you're coaching the secondary, what are we going to see change?
We're going to attack. You know, we're going to make plays. At least we're going to try full speed to make plays. We're not going to sit back and just let you dictate to us, especially in the back end. We're going to attack the ball. We're going to play the ball. We're going to tackle. We're going to do the things that will allow us to win ball games. So in a nutshell, we're going to compete, and we're going to compete all the time.
Thank you so much, Coach. I'm excited about coming to Valley. Good luck, and have a great season. Good luck Thursday.
Thank you. Thank you. And I look forward to seeing you too. I appreciate it.
All right, my friend.
Next question will come from Steven Robinson.
Steve.
Good morning, Coach. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Steve.
It's good. It's good. Hey, I was just curious right now, your quarterback room, you talk a little about that and just the fact that you do have a veteran coming back at that position. How important will that be in terms of moving forward and the direction you would like for the team to go?
It's awesome. Picking back about year 1 and 2. Last year, this time, we had kind of a little rotation thing going, but we don't have that this year. We know who our quarterback is, and I think he's an all SWAC player. He's going to prove that in Josh Brown and Jordan Davis, our number 2 guy right now that we got over from TSU, has really improved this camp. I'm very, very excited about what we're going to do at the quarterback position and also what we're going to do offensively. You know, with the new offensive coordinator we have in Grant Sims. It's going to be interesting. I cannot wait to see if what I've been seeing in practice is that going to translate to the game. So I'm just excited as you guys.
And also, Coach, we can follow up. I know last year the theme going into the season was buckle up. Do you have a theme for this season?
Yes, yeah, you know we're gonna have a theme up here in Ida. So we're in the Delta, and you're talking about heat. Well, we want to bring that heat. So heat for us is somebody's calling me in this interview. They shouldn't be, but the heat. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes, sir.
The heat stands for heart, effort, accountability, and toughness. That's what you're gonna see. That's what we're gonna bring. And then once we get on the field, the mantra is find a way, no excuses. So that's it. Clean that up, and let's make it happen.
All right. Wish you well this Thursday, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Next question will be from Stephen Gaither.
Stephen went to sleep.
Steve. Well, while we wait on Stephen, we'll direct our next question to Perry White.
Hey, good morning, Coach. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Doing well.
Let's talk about it. You said down in the Delta, 5 home games this year, and over the years, Valley has found a way to win some games that people would otherwise say, man, that was kind of peculiar. For you, what is it special about Rice Titan Stadium and coming up to Itta Bena that makes it a tough place for opponents around the SWAC?
Well, in the history, it's been, we played hard, but at the end of the day, we didn't have those, what you say, those consistent wins. I think from the heat to the players, and then like you just mentioned, Rice Titan Stadium, we've had a bunch of tremendous players. Asher Ambrose that's come through here that's made it really tough for opponents, and you win some of them games that you might not supposed to every now and then. Well, this is a new vision, new era. We're trying to win on a consistent basis. So as a team, we're trying to make it tough. Offense, defense, special team combined, along with coaches putting together a great game plan, that we want to make this a consistent thing. I'm not trying to have a great season. I want to build a pretty darn good program.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We'll have one more. We'll have more time. Actually, I have one last question from Brandon King.
Morning, Coach. How you doing?
Well, doing well.
Good to talk with you. Wanted to ask, as you move through, have progressed through camp, rather, I should say, who are some of the guys that have kind of jumped off the proverbial page at you, and that you're looking forward to what they'll be able to do for your ball club this season?
Oh man, it's been a lot. So I just want to concentrate on the O-line. I think the O-line has, as a whole, from Walker Thompson to Marcus McDaniel to Don Diego Collins to Dumas, has gelled as a unit, and it's giving us a lot of hope, a lot of inspiration that is going to help propel the team, I think, to higher levels. So I would say those guys up front, the O-line, and the new O-line coach done a great job also, Coach Sutton.
All right. Well, thanks, Coach, for that insight, and good luck this season. Looking forward to talk with you more.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, Coach Buckley, and we'll be tuned in to watch you on Thursday.
Thank you.
As now we continue our scheduled call, we now shift over to Prairie View head coach Tremaine Jackson. As Prairie View this week will be taking on Tarleton State. Coach, hold on, make sure we got Coach in here.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. I'm not sure if my video is showing up.
Not at the moment, but we can hear you very well.
Yeah, that's fine.
But we'll go ahead and start with your opening statement, as you guys will be having an 8 p.m. Central Time kickoff.
Yeah, I'm really excited to start the 2026 season. In the long camp, we've had a really aggressive camp, trying to find out who we are and what we can be. And so we are now ready to see what we've been working on, and see if it comes to fruition on what we want to be, and get out here on Saturday and play against a really good opponent, top 5 opponent in the FCS.
And with that, we'll start with our first question from Wayne Cartwright.
Coach Jackson, welcome to a new season, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
So my question for you today is, obviously we've heard all the talk about, how good Tarleton State is according to the polls there is, being ranked 5th nationally. But this is about your team. So who are, just naming names, Coach, who are the players that you're expecting to lean on to set the tone for this Saturday into the next part of your schedule?
Yeah, Wayne, for us, man, we don't really get into talking about a lot of names. We're gonna find out all the names at the same time. When we walk out there Saturday night, the guys that show up and play well and give us the best chance to win, those will be the names. You guys will tell us who the names are by who you talk about, if you talk about anybody post game. And so we don't know. We're trying to figure it out just like you guys are. And we've got some returning guys, we've got some new guys. We'll figure out how we're gonna put them out there. But we do know that we're gonna get on this bus Friday and we're gonna go down and play a really good football team, and we expect to come back with a win.
Well, Coach, that's the answer I expected you to give. So I appreciate it. It lets me know you're in mid-season form. Good luck on Saturday night, and we'll talk to you next Monday.
Appreciate it.
Next question will come from Charles Porter.
Hey, Coach Jack, good morning.
Good morning.
This is a real exciting time on the Hill. Prairie View A&M has not seen this kind of excitement. I know in the 40 years I've been covering it, you guys are a well-oiled machine. We've been just kind of listening at the scuttlebutt about how disciplined this team is. You have really got these guys geared up and ready to go. My question is, how do you guys adjust to playing such a late game at 8 o'clock at night so far away?
Yeah, Mr. Porter, for us, I don't know if we got any oil, let alone being well oil, right? Like, we're still trying to figure that stuff out. So I wouldn't say that. I would say for us to play at 8 p.m., man, we're HBCU. All the games late. All the games. You got to remember where I'm coming from. I'm coming from games being at 1 o'clock. I hadn't played a night game until I got here at Prairie View A&M in a really long time. So we practice in a manner to help our guys get ready, for what lies ahead. And so we've had some night practices. We've done those things, but ultimately, whether it's at 8 a.m. or 8 p.m., if you're not ready to play in the first football game against a really good opponent, then it really didn't matter what time the game was. And so we got to come out and get ready to go regardless of what time, regardless of the elements, regardless of all these things that we don't control. We just hope our guys are ready to go.
Coming out of camp, how strong, what is the strongest asset of the team? Is it the defense or the offense coming out of camp? What should we be excited about?
We try not to do a lot of guessing around here and hoping, right? Like, I don't know. We'll find out when we play against somebody else. And anybody that says this is this and that is that without playing against somebody else is kind of probably just hoping and wishing that they are that. We will not know what we are until we play somebody else, and we won't know what this season is until the end. And so what we plan to do is put our head down and go to work, which is what we've done since we've been here. And so I don't know. We're going to find out. I know this. They're strong everywhere. So we better be strong everywhere too.
All right, Coach. Good luck this week. Thanks a lot. You know somebody's watching you from down the hall.
Thank you.
Next question will be from Terrence Harris.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Morning.
Hey, quick question. What's your feeling about kind of moving away from tradition a little bit? I mean, your TSU and Prairie View they've always started out the season playing each other. Now, obviously, that changed. Well, they've done so for 40 years. Now that changes. What's your feeling about that? And can you walk us a little bit through your thought process on why this is maybe a good thing to do?
Terrence, you're trying to get me fined. Here's what I will say to you. I totally understand the reasoning on why both teams played so early, but that's not the reason anymore. And so we have to get out of doing the same thing that we've always done because it feels good to everybody and do what's best for the two programs, which I don't know what that is. For us, I think it's asinine that you open up with a conference rival game. I think that's crazy. That's not college football. College football rivals happen in the end. But people above my pay grade make that decision. And we have all these classic games and all of that. So I think it's fine. At the end of the day, honestly, I don't care. I'm worried about Tarleton State. That's the TSU that we got to play first. We play Tarleton State first. And so for us to be able to play a top 5 in the FCS opponent on national TV, which is exactly what we said we wanted to do when we got here, and now we got to be ready to go as we make this trip. I'm super excited to be playing in week 0. I think everybody should play in week 0. And so that's just my personal opinion. But we wanted to get on the grass as soon as we could to find out, get a glimpse of what we have an opportunity to be so we can hurry up and get to work on what we need to do next, win, lose, or draw. And so, the way the Labor Day Classic falls, it's whenever it is now. Man, we're worried about TSU at Tarleton State. And that's the new classic for us. That's what's out in front of us. It's for a trophy. They're in our system. Anytime we play for a trophy, we want to win the trophy. And so I think our kids are excited about that. We're away. It should be a really good environment. And again, it's going to be on national TV where everybody can see. And so we're getting ourselves ready and ramped up for that.
Good deal. Thanks, Coach.
Next question will be from James Hill.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everyone in Prairie View are well. Can you talk a little bit about the changing landscape of college football? Now it's 5 years. It's a 5-year window to pretty much play and get an education and win and so on and so forth. But from a coaching standpoint, can you tell us what that's about so far?
Yeah, I don't really know what it is. I mean, I think you can get drafted in the 7th round, get cut, and come back. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, whatever it is, Prairie View A&M is always going to adapt to it and be ready to play. And so, at this time, man, there's so much stuff going on in college football until if you sit around and read that, you'll lose sight about what's going on with your team. We know what we need to know that can help make us better as a program, but something eventually is going to settle down, and when it does, we'll be ready to improvise, adapt, and overcome to whatever that is. Because right now it's changing every single day and ain't every single county or state. And so it's a little different, but we signed up for this. I love it the way it is. I love the chaos. I think you gotta learn to be successful in chaos. And so we invite it to our front door and we let it in. And whatever it is, we'll improvise and adapt to it, and we'll keep moving.
Coach, you had a successful season last year. I know you left that in Atlanta, but just talk a little bit about the foundation that your program has as you move into a new year and look to go out there and win games.
Yeah, I don't know if we have a foundation. I don't know if you can set a foundation like you once could. This is like flipping houses, right? You flip it and then you sell it and you go buy another house and look to flip it again, right? So for us, we know what we want to be. We know who we are. We know what program we want to implement. But I don't know if it's truly like a solid old school foundation, right? We just know who we are and know why we coach. We coach to help young men be men. And not a lot of people coach like that anymore. A lot of people coach to get paid. And that's not us. We coach for a totally different reason. And because we know that and we understand that, it allows us to have been successful, and hopefully we're able to continue the success because of the way we do those things.
Thank you, Coach. Have another great season.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And Coach Jackson, thank you for joining us this morning. We'll, as for the sake of time, we'll let you have your morning back, and we wish you the best of luck this weekend as you guys take on Tarleton State.
Thank you. Go Panthers.
As now we shift over our schedule, and we will have Southern head coach Marshall Falk, who is joining us this morning. Coach, how you doing?
Doing good, doing good.
All right, so obviously as well, you have your team who will be on the road, more in a neutral site-ish area, but guys will be participating in the inaugural Birmingham Football Classic. This also marks the debut of you coaching on the sidelines with Southern. Go ahead and start with an opening statement for that.
I want to say that we're excited to be a part of the inaugural game. Really looking forward to seeing what the kids are going to get out there and do. They've been working their butts off, and we're excited to have the opponent that we have. I know Coach Rob is going to have his kids ready to play. They're coming off a great season last year. They have some dynamic players, but what we're going to try to do is come out and make the game about us, control the things that we can control, and be prepared for all the things that happens in the game where momentum shifts on every play from every series and every down. So really, really looking forward to see how these guys that we've put together assimilate as a team. And as we know, football is a team game, and the team that plays the better as a team usually wins.
Now we will direct our first question to Wayne Cartwright.
Coach Falk, welcome to a new season of football, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, my question for you today is, obviously this is your first time as a head coach going up against a team that where you're learning your personnel, and while at the same time you're learning the other team's personnel as it's going forward in live action. Just how much have you gone through just this opening experience in your mind, whether it's just been, your process of thoughts, talk about like the simulations, just talk about all the emotions and everything that you've gone through to get yourself to this point ahead of a game that's going to take place here on Saturday.
Just trying to prepare myself for something, in the game of football that's I've dealt with the known for so long, and now being a head coach on the sideline, I'm the rookie here. There's a lot of unknowns, and the only thing that I can do, like I said, for my players, and I tell them, control what you can control, and that's it. Make sure that we're prepared and we're ready for whatever is going to take place. And I don't think there's a coach right now who knows how his team is going to respond. And what we want to do is find out. We want to see how they handle adversity. We want to see how they come out the gate, and we want to see how they respond. And I think for me, I'm in the same space for myself. being a first year head coach, I want to see exactly how I respond. What message can I send to them after something happens? Can I continue to be positive and lead them in the right direction? Man, I wish I knew. I wish I knew, but I don't have the experience to like a Coach Robertson does. I'm not there, but we're growing. We'll be ready, and we're looking forward to the game.
Well, Coach, best of luck to you guys here on Saturday, and we'll definitely be chatting about it here next Monday.
Thank you.
Direct our next question to Charles Hallman.
Coach, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Charles Hallman from Minnesota Spokesman Recorder. Picking back on you talking about your first year as a head coach, but you've been a coach before in the system. Can you talk a little bit about I write for a Black newspaper? There's not that many Black head coaches, even though in the SWAC, all the coaches are Black. But in terms of overall in college football, there's not a whole lot. So talk about you being a head coach and how much have you learned so far that you didn't know you was going to deal with when you became a head coach?
I've been fortunate enough to have some great head coaches lead me, and before I decided to go on this journey, I literally I made as many calls as possible. I'm always in contact with my mentors, the guys around the NFL that's coached in college, that's coached in high school, just asking the nuances about the how-tos. And, they help me with all the things that's needed to in making the decisions. But until a game is played, who knows? Now, in the sense of being a head coach and being Black and a former player, it's growing, man. It's growing. It's a growing thing. But here's what I don't want to do. I don't want to put the focus on us being Black head coaches or former players, because that takes the light away from the guys who maybe didn't play in the NFL as doing a damn good job as well. All in all, we're all just head coaches trying to help these young men to get better on and off the field, to put them in a better situation, to teach them the qualities of life and how football can prepare you for the game of life as well.
Coach, I look forward to speaking with you throughout the season. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Direct our next question to Jaden Day.
Good morning, Coach. Jaden Day here with the Montgomery Advertiser. Obviously taking on Eddie Robinson again. I know you guys shared the football field before back in Super Bowl. But when you think back, being on the opposite sideline from him again, what does that connection mean to you?
I mean, being that we're both from New Orleans, I mean, it's just we have a bunch of the same roots. We competed, at the highest level in the highest game that you can play in, and now we get a chance to go against each other right now, but in a different capacity. And I'm gonna say that Coach Robinson has done a great job. I mean, a great job at preparing his team and leading young men in this arena. And I'm just happy to be on the same field with him, across from him, with an opportunity to compete and present a challenge and pose some problems to where we have a game that's competitive.
Thank you, sir.
Direct our next question to James Hill.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everyone at Southern are well. Talk a little bit about college football so far, what you see as a head coach in terms of now you're talking about a 5-year window of time where young men can acquire an education, earn that education, and get on the football field. Transfer portal, high schoolers, everybody has 5 years. But talk a little bit about so far what you see.
I see a landscape that's consistently shifting and changing, and the schools that adapt to whatever it is and instead of complaining, go out and compete is going to have an advantage, as you see. And I think, and I can only think because I'm not in making the decisions. I think they're trying to do what's best for the kids. That's that, and that's just my thought. That to know if it is, I think they change. They continue to change, see what happens, and then adapt. I don't think right now anybody knew exactly where we're going, how we're going, and what it's going to be like. But at some point in time, I feel like we're going to sit in on something and settle in and have a landscape in college football that's not just good for the universities or the TV networks, that is good for the players as well. All the players, I should say.
All right, Coach. Good luck versus Alabama State.
Thank you.
Direct our next question to Perry White.
Good morning, Coach Falk. How you doing?
Doing good.
You've been on the Bluff now for 9 months. Talk to us about what it's been like for you getting to know the culture of Southern University, the Jaguar Nation, and the spirit of what this fan base really embodies when it talks about supporting their team and support you in this team and the program.
Yeah, man, we got an amazing fan base. Every time, I'm talking about every time I see someone, the expectations are high. The expectations are to win, and regardless of what last year was like, they want to let me know that they're behind me. It's a fan base that's rich, and they have a lot of history here, and they're accustomed to winning. And it's my job to return them back to where they rightfully belong, and not just do that with words, but do that with action, and do it on the football field. And just I've been trying to avoid all the talking that people like to do, and we get a chance Saturday to allow our pads to talk.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.
We now direct next question to Lut Williams.
Good morning, Coach Falk, and welcome to Southern and the SWAC and to Black college football. Coach, we've had Hall of Famers like Larry Little. We've had Hall of Famers recently like Deion Sanders. We've had Heisman Trophy winner like Eddie George that come to the HBC arena. I'm wondering, what are the conversations like amongst people like you that have Hall of Fame credentials, who've played in the NFL? Because it seems to be a trend that all of the HBCUs are now looking for guys with NFL experience. What do you feel about that? And what's been the talk amongst guys like you that have excelled in NFL at a higher level?
The conversations that I've had are more about the collaboration of the brands, whether it's myself, Coach Prime, Eddie George, and the other guys that played in the NFL, whether they're Hall of Fame or not. It's the collaboration in the brands and the opportunity to come here. And what we all talk about with the kids is the experience of, here's what it takes to get to the next level, and showing them that, and also making sure that they understand that whether you make it to the next level or not as a player, the opportunity as a coach or in the front office, that opportunity is just as great and can provide you and your family a life that's just as awesome as playing, without all the headache and sometimes the heartache as well. When I think about it, we're just like any other coach. We want to engage with these young men. We want to help these young men to get the best out of themselves, to where they can live their best life, put their best foot forward.
Do you think that many of the guys that, and we have a plethora of guys, both in the SWAC, the MEAC, and the CIAA, and the SIAC. We got full of guys that have played on the professional level. But do you think that the opportunities are there? We know that Deion left Jackson State and went to a place like Colorado and probably got 10 times as much money as he was there that he made at Jackson State. Do you think those opportunities are available as these NFL players with the kind of experience that all of you have had? Do you think the opportunities will open up for them to move into these places similar to what Deion did?
I believe so. I believe so, and it's the Dion being Coach Prime being the pioneer that he is, leads the way. We're all rooting for him. You have to show that this path is a path that one can take. If that's what you want, that's what he's doing. And I don't think everybody is in the mindset of taking that next step and having that be the next opportunity. I believe some guys they enjoy where they're at. They're where they want to be, and the impact of reaching players. This is where they see themselves. But for the guys who want to get somewhere else, using this opportunity, this platform is a great opportunity. But making sure that the place that you walk into, you leave it a better place than it was before you got there.
Got you, Coach. Thanks and good luck, Coach Falk.
Thank you.
Next question will be from Perry White.
Hey, Coach, going back to the team preparing for this game with Alabama State, you're looking at your quarterback room, Ashton Stroughter, Wyatt McCauley, along with Kristen Johnson. Talk about those three guys and the characteristics that each one of them have at the quarterback position that you're looking for out of a leader to run this go-go offense.
Yeah, they're all like great young men, but different in their own right. Ashton's a big, strong arm kid who stands in the pocket. Christian's a guy who is a little bit more mobile, strong arm as well. And Wyatt is the young guy who great athlete that's learning how to play the position of quarterback with a dynamic arm. We feel like with each one of those guys, we can win ball games. And the side that we're looking for is that characteristic that falls under leadership and guidance that guys gravitate to and want to play with and want to block for and want to win for. That's the dynamic of a quarterback. When they have that leadership capability and when they run out on the field without saying it, guys want to follow their leadership.
And last question before I go, any update with Kelby Givens and his situation with eligibility?
None right now. We understand the situation that we're in. It's the ebbs and flows. When he was a GA and then he was back and then he wasn't again. So we're going to take it up to the clock to see what happens, and hopefully things work out for the class of 2022. That those kids, they get an extra year, and that Kelby gets to play with us another year.
Appreciate you.
Yep.
And Coach, thank you for taking the time out of your morning, and good luck to you as you guys travel to Birmingham this weekend for the inaugural Birmingham Football Classic.
Thank you.
And as we continue our scheduled call, we are going to shift our schedule a bit as Coach Dishman is still caught up right now with another interview. So we will have Coach T.C. Taylor from Jackson State, who will be entering. Coach has now joined us. Coach T.C. Taylor, how you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing well, cannot complain. Thank you for taking time out of your morning. So got a game on the road this weekend, heading on to Tennessee State. Take them on. Just want to get an opening statement from you, how you feel about this weekend and just about camp.
Camp has been great. We're coming out for the most part pretty healthy. Again, like you said, a big game this weekend against Tennessee State, a rivalry really renewed that our guys are looking forward to. When you're in training camp for as long as we've been, we even count the summer months that we had all our workouts and things like that. Guys are pretty much getting tired of, hitting one another, beating up on one another. So they're ready to go play an opponent in Tennessee State. So we're looking forward to it. And, I know our fans are looking forward to traveling up to Nashville. So we can't wait.
I will shift our first question to Wayne Cartwright.
Coach TC Taylor, how are you, sir?
I'm good. How you doing, Wayne?
Doing blessed, and welcome to a new season.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, now let's really get into talking about stuff that matters, which is what's on the field. So here's my first question for you today. Matt Leone moves over now to be the offensive coordinator there at Tennessee State, and obviously you guys are very familiar with him and his long history of teams that you guys have faced. What are the initial preparations that you guys have made for led offenses that he has?
Yeah, you just got to be aggressive. And I know Coach Quinn and our defensive staff are going to put together a good plan. Like you said, Matt is an excellent OC. I think a lot of him. I've followed his work for a while now. He's had a lot of success over at North Carolina Central, developing quarterbacks and playing at his highest level. So he's going to bring some great things to the table this weekend. We know it, and we got to be up for the challenge. But I think a lot of our defensive staff, starting with Coach Quinn and those guys over there, putting together a plan. We got some guys defensively that can really fly around, that I'm excited about and ready to see play, this weekend. So it's going to be a great chess match, and we're looking forward to it.
All right, lastly, I'll ask about your offense. Obviously, Jared Lockhart coming in now, taking the reins now as the full-time starter. You guys got a blessing with Nate Rembert being approved to come back. So you guys got your offense ready to roll, but where is it sitting right now with its cohesion ahead of this game on Saturday?
I think they're locked and ready to go. I know we are. We did a good job of taking advantage of all the summertime days out there. Those guys building chemistry as a unit. Jared grew as a leader. He changed his body physically. Even looked like he gotten taller and put on some weight. Throwing the ball around with Nate and those guys, Jabari, a couple of the new receivers we got in the building that I'm very excited about what Jared is going to do this season, barring being healthy. We just got to keep him upright. And a lot, for us offensively, we put a lot on our offensive line, those big guys in the trenches, whether we're running the ball, protecting Jared. So I know they'll be ready to go with Quay Davis coming back at right tackle. We're excited about him anchoring that group. So it's a group that's, capable of putting up some points this year, and we're excited about them.
Well, best to you guys heading up there to Nashville, and we'll definitely be talking next week, Coach. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Direct our next question to Tamona Stapleton.
Good morning, Coach TC. How you doing?
I'm good. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. You made the decision to go dark during summer camp and really keep things in-house. Now that you're coming out of camp, what did you learn about the identity and vibe of this team and especially the defense?
Just culture is everything. We feel like we have a great culture here set in place with our program. So no matter what guys we bring into it, we still preach the same things, being physical as the defense, scoring points on our offensive side, being able to run the football, take our shots when they're there. So, the culture is the culture. That was one of the reasons, we just said we're going to kind of keep it quiet, learn our football team, see what we have with the pieces in play on the football field. And we're going to display that this weekend. And I know those guys are excited about it. Can you ask me the second part of the question again, too? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was asking about like when you kept it dark, what did you see defensively that you can reveal for us since
Yeah.
we weren't able to see the ins and outs?
Okay. First thing first was the secondary. I think we improved there. Those guys, we got some transfers in here with some length, some guys that can really strike that I'm excited to see play football. Our linebacker core is deep. We got some guys that played last year for us on this football team that's going to be really good. Ja'Cory Hargan has had an excellent camp. Keith Bass came in as a true freshman and played last year. He's had an excellent camp. The biggest question mark right now, we got the bodies, plenty of bodies up there, but guys that just hadn't played a lot of football is on the D-line. So I'm excited about them. They're athletic. They got great size, but just ready to see them play. And, once we get that initial eval, after that first game, you kind of know what you're working with.
Thank you, Coach TC, and good luck to your team this weekend.
Thank you.
Next question, we'll direct it to Perry White.
Morning, Coach Taylor. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing, Perry?
Doing good. 6 guys on the all SWAC selection for you, talking about replacing talent and developing talent. You and your coaching staff, since you've been there, have found ways to do that. Talk about that process and what it is when you guys go out and evaluate the transfer portal, as well as when you get those guys out of high school and develop them up as well.
Yeah, I think the thing is, we're not a staff that just bring in the best available. Sometimes we bring in the guys that are available and also fit our program, fit our scheme schematically. And we do a good job of that. You talked about all those all conference guys, Jared Lockhart fits our scheme. Cam Silas fits our scheme. Quay Davis fits our scheme. As well as some other names. Camelo Jones fits our scheme. And those guys, some of those names I called, just been buying and waiting their time. But that's what it is. We go out and get the guys that, fit our culture, can come in and play in our system and do the things that we ask them to do on a day-to-day basis. And then we look for guys that just being good teammates. We're going to still continue to recruit the high school player. We do get some guys out of portal, but we still want to develop guys out of high school. We've done a good job as that as a program, and it's paid off for us, and we're going to continue that.
Thank you, Coach Taylor.
Appreciate you.
Next question will come from James Hill.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everybody in the capital city are well. Talk a little bit about this rivalry, Jackson State, the I Love, and Tennessee State, and just the history of it, and put it into context, what we can see.
Yeah, tons of history when you talk about these two programs going up against one another. But the thing that's significant about this, I think, is this game has been canceled for the last, 2-3 years. So you got quite a few players that don't know anything about it. I think myself being a former player in it, also Javancy Jones, Coach O has coached in it. Those are the ones that really know about this rivalry. But you try to, we've done a good job of trying to tell the players about the rivalry, what this means to the fans, to this program and everything. And, the great players and coaches that have coached and played on both sides of the field that's going into it. Then what better way to renew it in a city than Nashville? I'm excited about it. It's a great city up there. Our fans are excited about it. So I'm just excited about both teams coming out there this weekend and playing well.
Coach, the changing landscape in college football, now that you talk about a 5-year window where a young man or a young lady can acquire an education, earn an education, and then try to see the field and play well during that period of time where you have transfers, high schoolers, everybody wants to play. Talk a little bit about what you see from a coaching standpoint.
From a coaching standpoint, with the landscape of college football, I mean, you got to be able to make adjustments. It seems like every 15-20 minutes, with the things that's going on with NCAA and this eligibility stuff, 5-year rule. Now they just gave the 22s a year, then took it back. It's just a lot of adjustments you have to be ready and prepared to make. And that's something we've been blessed and fortunate enough to do. I got a great team of people around me, and when those things come down, we're able to make those adjustments. But it's a lot of this stuff it strengthens the student athlete. It plays in their favor. So I was once that, and and I don't never want to knock it, but for coaches, it's just being able to make adjustments going forward.
Thank you, Coach. Have a blessed season.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Next question will come from Brandon King.
Good morning, Coach Taylor. How you doing?
Good. How you doing this morning?
Doing well. I'm doing well. And you touched on this bit in your earlier comments in terms of the Tennessee State having a new OC and Coach Leone, but they've also got a new defensive coordinator. As you know, with Coach Barlow obviously arriving late in the cycle, the team that we saw at the end of the season will be vastly different from what you'll see on Saturday. That with that being said, when you come into playing a game, first game of the season, new coaches, staff, in some pretty prominent positions and a new team. Can you talk about the challenges of trying to prepare, because you might not have as much film and information on what you'll be facing on Saturday?
Oh yeah, definitely is a challenging deal, with a new DC, new offensive coordinator, Coach Barlow going into his second year now. They got new players over there, but we do a good job of just going back and scouring what we can find when the defensive coordinator, previous stops he's made at different places. Coach Leone, we was just talking about him, the time he's been over at Central and other places. So we go back and study all those things. Coach Barlow is an awesome coach. He's done some great things previously in the SWAC, in the UFL, he's a champion. So we know we got to do our due diligence and be ready to go this.
All right, thanks for that insight, Coach, and good luck this season.
Thank you.
Next question will go to Charles Bishop.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
What's up, Chuck? How you doing, man?
Hey, I wanted to ask this question, Coach Cedric Thornton. Of course, he's a Jackson native, but had some comments over the offseason. But does that add any more pepper to this already really good rivalry?
Nah, coaches is gonna talk. We just let them talk. But it's the first game for us, Chuck. We're just excited to be back playing football on the road, in a classic, John Merritt Classic. We've been talking about this rivalry and everything. So, we don't want to make it personal. It's just a game that we got to have. We want to start this season off the right way. And that's what I've talked to my young men about. We're not going to get into the newspaper clippings and things like that or what people got to say about us. All we can do is go out and show it this weekend.
Quick follow-up in terms of you lost some pieces with regards to the backfield, but is there any excitement with regards to what you have coming into the backfield with Nate Blunt? Of course, DNA of Jackson State football is really running the football.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely, man. Those guys have been buying their time. You talked about Nate. He's been waiting for his moment for about 2-3 years now, and he's showing it. He's showing it in his work. He's showing it in his preparation off the field in the classroom. He's changed his body. He looks the part. So I'm excited to see him under the lights. You remember Amari Matthews is a guy that was part of this our 2024 championship run, ran the ball well in 24. With the depth chart we had last year with some of the backs, he didn't get quite as many carries as he wanted. So he's back up. Pryor is a true freshman that we're excited about from the state of Florida. Four-star kid that we know can run the ball. He's been showing it to us. So we got a stable of guys that's going to, go out there and do their thing this weekend, Chuck.
Sure thing. Appreciate you, Coach.
Thank you.
We'll have time for one last question for Coach Taylor from Stephen Robertson.
Good afternoon, Coach Taylor. Hope all is well.
How you doing?
Just curious to know which role do you prefer in terms of being the hunted or the hunter? I know previous years you guys were more, everybody was chasing after the Tigers. You were the hunted. And I guess this year more of the hunted because Alabama State's been picked to win your side. But which role do you prefer in terms of going into a season?
To be honest, I never just look at it like that. We just got to go dominate each and every opponent on our schedule. You'd say the hunted part of the hunted, but everybody has one goal at this point of the season is winning their division, and taking care of business. But we don't look at it like that. The preseason picks are the preseason picks. We just make sure we're playing good football throughout the season, and we'll see where we're sitting at around the end of November. But that's just how we move, and everybody, we get it a lot of people's best each and every weekend, when they're playing Jackson State. So, we just got to go out there and play the games on our schedule and be in a good position when November comes and be ready to go for, postseason football.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Wish you well.
Thank you.
Coach Taylor, I appreciate you taking the time out your morning for this. And I know you guys will be preparing for the rest of the week as you head on to Nashville, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Y'all take care. Look forward to this
Thank you.
season.
Thank you.
All right.
As we continue our call, we have actually one last coach who is scheduled to appear, and that will be Chris Dishman from Texas Southern. He's actually right now coming from another call, so he will be on the way very soon. Just give us a few minutes. All right, everyone. As quick update, Coach Dishman will not be making the call today. So we will conclude today's SWAC football head coaches call for August 24th. Just a reminder to everyone that this will always be available on SWAC TV and SWAC Digital Network on YouTube. And we are excited for you to join us for the next coaches call. And we will see you as SWAC football officially is in session this week.